Stop scrolling right now, because what you about to hear will either change everything or confirm exactly why your life feels stuck. God whispered something to me before I recorded this, and it made my hands shake. He said, "They'll feel it before they understand it. Some will close this video within seconds. Others will watch until the end, but refuse to let it touch them. And a few, just a few, will finally stop running. If you're still here, there's a reason, not a coincidence, not an algorithm. A reason that exists beyond what you can see. Something inside you, call it intuition, call it your spirit, call it whatever helps you sleep at night, already knows this message was meant to intercept your life at this exact moment. Here's what God revealed. You've been living in a state of spiritual amnesia. You wake up, go through the motions, chase dopamine hits disguised as purpose, and fall asleep wondering why nothing feels real anymore. You're not depressed, you're disconnected. There's a difference. Depression can be treated with medicine and therapy, but disconnection from your divine assignment? That hollowness can only be filled by the one who designed the space in the first place. Let me ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly, even if no one else will ever know your response. When was the last time you felt truly aligned, not happy, not distracted, not entertained, aligned? When was the last time your actions matched your values? Your words matched your integrity. Your life matched your prayers. You've been praying for breakthrough while building barriers. You've been asking for clarity while avoiding the truth you already know. You've been begging God for signs while ignoring the ones He's already sent. The job that drains your soul, that's a sign. The relationship that requires you to shrink yourself, that's a sign. The anxiety that spikes every time you compromise your values, that's not a disorder. That's your spirit screaming that you're off course. God told me something that will make some of you uncomfortable. They re-addicted to their own suffering, not because you enjoy pain, but because you've grown familiar with it. Familiar feels safer than faith. The known, even when it's toxic, feels less terrifying than the unknown, even when it's divinely appointed. You've convinced yourself that staying is easier than leaving, that silence is safer than speaking, that blending in protects you more than standing out. But here's the truth that will split this audience in half. Some will hear freedom, others will hear judgment. God is done waiting for you to be ready. Ready is a myth you've been hiding behind. No one who ever did anything significant was ready. Moses wasn't ready. David wasn't ready. Esther wasn't ready. Mary wasn't ready. But they were willing, and willingness in the hands of God will always outperform readiness in the hands of fear. Right now, at this very second, you're at a crossroads. Not a metaphorical one, a real one. You can close this video, return to your feed, convince yourself this was interesting, but not urgent, and wake up tomorrow exactly where you are today. Or you can let this moment fracture something inside you that needs to break. Not break you, break open. Because there's a version of you trapped beneath layers of performance, people-pleasing, and postponed obedience, and that version is suffocating. God showed me a vision while preparing this message. I saw people watching this on their phones, in their cars, in their bedrooms, in bathrooms at work because they needed to escape for just 5 minutes. I saw faces. I saw tears forming before people even understood why, and I heard God say, "Tell them I see them. Tell them I see the version of themselves they hide from everyone else. Tell them I'm not interested in who they pretend to be. I'm coming for who they actually are. You've been living a double life, and it's exhausting you. Not double in the way people usually mean, not scandals or secrets, though some of you carry those too. Double in the sense that there's the person you present to the world, and then there's the person you become when you're alone. The edited version and the raw footage. The filtered image and the mirror reflection. God is saying, bring me the unedited version. That's the one I can work with. Here's what conviction feels like, in case you're re-wondering if that's what you're re-experiencing right now. It's not shame. Shame says you're bad. Conviction says you're called to better. Shame paralyzes. Conviction mobilizes. Shame makes you hide. Conviction makes you rise. If your chest feels tight right now, if tears are forming, if you suddenly want to pause this and come back later, that's not anxiety. That's awakening. An awakening is always uncomfortable because it requires you to admit you've been asleep. Let me tell you what God is specifically calling out in your life right now, and yes, He told me to be this direct. The relationship you keep recycling because loneliness scares you more than toxicity. The dream you've abandoned because one person didn't believe in it. The calling you've ignored because it doesn't make logical sense. The truth you won't speak because you're afraid of losing people who don't even truly know you. The version of yourself you've buried because the world rewarded you for being small. God is dismantling your comfort zone, not to punish you, but to promote you. You cannot expand in the same space that taught you to shrink. You cannot break generational cycles while still practicing generational patterns. You cannot walk into your destiny while carrying luggage from your past. Something has to be left behind. Someone might have to be released. Some version of yourself has to die so the real you can finally breathe. Not everyone will make it to the end of this message. Some have already clicked away. Some are fighting the urge right now. That resistance isn't random. Resistance shows up strongest right before breakthrough. The enemy doesn't fight for people who are stuck. He fights for people who are dangerously close to freedom. If you're still here, still listening, still feeling that uncomfortable stirring in your spirit, you're closer than you think. This is your invitation, not to perfection, not to having it all figured out, not to becoming someone you're not. This is your invitation to alignment, to authenticity, to the life that's been waiting for you to stop auditioning and start becoming. God is saying, I'm ready when you are, but I'm also ready if you're not, because I'll meet you in your willingness, not your worthiness. If this message reached you, it wasn't by accident. Respond to it, not by commenting, not by sharing, but by changing, by choosing differently tomorrow than you did today, by finally having the conversation you've been avoiding, by releasing what you've been clutching, by becoming who you've been resisting. Heaven is watching, not to judge, to celebrate the moment you finally say yes,